Hello, this is the Vocal Podcast, and thank you for tuning in. So, in my last podcast, I talked to you guys about existentialism, what it meant to make your own purpose in life, and I got some really good feedback from that. So, I want to say thank you so much for your constructive and your positive criticism. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, this time I want to talk to you guys about authenticity, what it means to be authentic and to live as your true self. So, I'm going to do 2 videos about this. The first one just kind of talking about authenticity, what it is, breaking it down, all the philosophers that were involved in kind of deciding what it is. And I'm going to release another video interviewing my friend who was a refugee from Iraq. He's going to talk about what it means, what the difference is of being authentic in his country compared to the UK, and the kind of, adversities he's faced coming here. Okay, I'm just going to jump in there. So authenticity is a follow through. When I say that, I mean you do something and you follow through with it. You believe something, and no matter what it is, you will stick to what you believe in. That is you being true to yourself and showing it. That is the literal definition of it. In around like the 1960s, there was a guy called Jean-Paul Sartre, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, like Sartre, he was French. And basically he said that to be authentic, we should not base it on the things around us. It's the idea that society and our environment have a huge effect on how authentic a person can be. Authenticity and society kind of go hand in hand. You can't talk about one without the other, right? Because in order for society to work, we all need to fill a certain role and to play a certain piece. But sometimes that role can overshadow who we are and we become that. It was said that when a philosopher, Kierkegaard, went up to a man and he asked him, like, who are you? Who are you? He replied with, I'm a doctor, right? Obviously, he wasn't just a doctor, there was much more to him than that. But he had been so overshadowed by what he thought was the role that he needed to play that he forgot who he really was in society. So understanding the true self is understanding who we are without those social constructs. Now, I'm not saying that all of society is bad. It can actually give you purpose and make you connect to people in a much easier way. We see all the memes like we live in a society and all that kind of stuff, but it's not all doom and gloom. It's the pressures that come with society that we have to fill this certain role in order to fit in and to be someone that, a lot of time the creative industries are put down because they're told that they're not really contributing to society and things like that. Being true to yourself is hard. Being authentic is liking who you are, liking what you do and how you do it. And at the same time, not letting your environment affect you to a state where you're no longer being yourself. So you're basically choosing your normal based on society's normals. And that's what I talked about last time when I talked about bad faith. You feel that this is normal and this is what it is, but it's not true. This is a false representation of who you really are. So what Jean-Paul Sartre said is that you need to find your true self with creative outlets. Art, creative writing, dance, music, all of that is your subconscious talking. Even if you're imitating and you're drawing something that you see right in front of you, you still will interpret that differently to how the person next to you interprets that, because your art style is your inner voice. But this is not usually the hard part for a lot of people anyway, understanding what authenticity is. It's normally facing yourself. It's a fear of being authentic. Now, me personally, I struggle with being authentic around certain people and in certain situations. I do change and adapt based on my environment and who I'm around. And I think sometimes it's really hard not to want to fit in because it's a basic need, right? If you look back to prehistoric times, we were a herd. We walked around as a tribe, as a pack, and we would hunt together, right? So now it's become this almost natural human instinct to want to fit in with the environment because it was a survival technique. So understanding when you are being authentic is a really important distinction to make. Psychological studies have shown that authenticity can relate to a feeling. So you can feel a light feeling when you make a decision that is authentic to your true self, and when you make inauthentic decisions, it can be like a really heavy kind of down feeling. Also, it can be an easy mistake to make when you are really passionate about something and you really want to put your point across, but sometimes you can get a bit defensive with it. You can be a bit apprehensive with people trying to challenge your ideas. Authenticity can also be mistaken when you get defensive about someone challenging your opinion and your ideas. It doesn't make you more authentic the louder you shout or the more you argue. In fact, it makes you less because you come across as defensive, almost as if you don't really believe your opinion because you have to shout it so much louder and you have to make someone believe in it. So in this case, it's not being authentic, it's being insecure. So it is really hard to distinguish when you're being authentic, when you're not being authentic. So I kind of looked it up, right? I'm just going to end the video by just reading out these 7 authentic traits, right? So they are realistic perceptions of reality. They accept themselves and other people. They are thoughtful, have a non-hostile sense of humour, are able to express emotions freely and clearly, and they understand emotions, and then they learn from their mistakes. Alright, thank you guys again for tuning into my podcast. Please like, subscribe, share if you really liked it, and let me know what you think. Like, do you agree with the points I said? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. I'd love the feedback. I love the discussion. Stay tuned for tomorrow where I'll be uploading my interview with Abdullah, and have a good night.